Hello friends and welcome back to Trending in Design. Today I'm going to show you how to make a triple layer Jello shot. I am also going to show you how to make a single Jello shot for those who have never made a Jello shot before. This is going to be your go-to drink for the summer, so you may want to get this recipe down for those who have never made a Jello shot before. We're gonna kick off our Memorial Day weekend with this shot, and then we'll get into something a little different as we go along with our blog. But this is a great time for you to kind of start stepping out a little bit, very carefully. Obviously, this COVID-19 thing has taken over a lot of our lives and haven't given us a chance to actually go out, but please do so safely. Remember to always wash your hands and wear masks. It's extremely important. But you know, Memorial Day is about our fallen soldiers. That doesn't necessarily for me mean that it's somebody who wears fatigues. As we see today in our COVID time, our new leaders and our new people that are out there really going to battle for us have been our medical professionals, have been those delivery folks, have been, you know, your police officers and people that are going out day to day risking their lives so that we can have the daily things we need. So, you know, just remember that this Memorial Day, and also remember those soldiers who bravely gave their lives, you know, willingly gave their lives for us. It wasn't even second nature, so this is for them. Again, if you have a friend that is in the military, share a Jello shot with them, you know. I'm sure they'll share a great story that you'll never forget, or, you know, just change your life a little bit. This is also a good time to spend with your family. Take a virtual White House tour with them. Something that I probably will do because I haven't done it before. So that's on one of my things to do on my list. Or watch your favorite military movie. You know, Saving Private Ryan was one of my favorite. Full Metal Jacket, Major Payne. You know, pick your poison, but you know, watch a good movie and you know, give your kids kind of a feel of what this is all about. If you're able to have a barbecue and serve up the Jello shots. If you're having a barbecue, please remember to keep 6 feet away, have everybody wear their mask, and just be safe in how you interact with folks. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you now just how to do a basic Jello shot to start. And then we'll get into the layering because there's going to be a process. It's a little bit different from your normal Jello shot. So prior to this video, I boiled a cup of water. I put it in a cup that I won't burn myself. So here's my cup of water going into my bowl. I also got my vodka ready to go. 1 cup of that. I measured it with my handy dandy measuring cup to make sure that it's correct. Okay, I pour that bad boy in there, and I'm going to add my Jello. You want to use 1 box and just whisk that bad boy up until everything is dissolved. And you get a beautiful color. I used raspberry Jello for the red layer because I like the flavor better. I'm not a fan of cherry. It seems for me that it tastes a lot like cough medicine, so I kind of stay away from the cherry Jello, but to each his own. If you like it, go for it. Just not my thing. So I have whisked them all together, right? I have my tray ready to go because this can be messy, folks, if you don't have them ready. So I have a tray here. I'm not sure that you can see that because the light is pretty shining in this morning. So I am going to use one of my other tools that I love to scoop out the Jello. Just makes it easier for me. And I'm going to put them up in these cups. Fill them up. For a regular Jello shot, you would fill it up all the way. Because I'm going to do a layer shot, I am going to do multiple ones that are not all the way. we're going to want to cool these first layers for at least 30 minutes before we put the second layer on top. Only because if you do not and you go ahead and put that other layer on top, you're going to mess up what you did already and it's not going to come out the way you want. So the key is to cool it between each layer. So I'm just pouring them the first layer pretty much. So like I was saying, for your full Jello shot, you want to fill it all the way up to the rim. And for the layer, you're actually only going to fill it up like a third of the way. Since we're doing 3 layers, a third will be fine. For the second layer of this Jello shot, I boiled up, again, you can see the steam, some water and coconut milk. I did 1 cup of boiling water, 1 cup of coconut milk, and boiled them together. I'm going to put those, again, in with my cup so I don't burn myself inside my bowl. And you can see the steam on that bad boy. You're going to put a cup of sugar. And you're going to add 2 gelatin packets. This is original gelatin. This is not any Jello product that has a flavoring. It's just plain, clear Jello. And I'm going to whisk that together before I add my vodka to make sure that all of those products are nicely bound together before I add my vodka. So make sure there's no lumps, getting all that stuff in. And this is going to give you that white layer. The white layer is a little more difficult to get together than the other ones because of the fact that you know, you got to get a little creative in how you do that. I find the coconut milk is really good. I like the flavor. The sugar gives me a little sweetening to it, so that also helps. And once you've got everything whisked together, you can add the vodka. And then you want to whisk that more together to make sure it's nicely blended and coated and good to go. Same thing here now. Once you get that little white coloring that you want, you're going to want to scoop them and put them on top of your first layer. The key with this is going to be that you make sure that this cools down enough before you put it on that layer. Right now this is a little bit too hot before I put it on. Otherwise, like I said before, it's going to mess up what I've already done. So I'm just going to set this aside for a little bit before I start to put it over my Jello that's sitting now. That first layer, you usually want to give 30 minutes or more. You just want to make sure that it's starting to get solid before you put the extra layer on it. So that's why I'm going to wait a minute before I put this on. And once I do, I'll show you how we do that. But it's definitely a good way to get a nice white center for your Jello shot. You can also do this without any alcohol if you want to do them for your kids. The only difference is instead of putting the cold vodka, you put a cup of cold water. Follow your Jello instructions for the most part, but you could always do the same thing for the kids. Make them look beautiful just without the alcohol. What I do, if I have kid Jello shots and I have adult Jello shots at the same event, I make sure to either be able to identify that in how I lay my Jello. So for the kids, for instance, if you want to do a layered shot, maybe the top of their layered shot is blue and the adults is red. Or let's say, for instance, you're doing adult shots that are purple and you want to do theirs maybe orange. So it's completely different. That way you can identify that, hey, that kid shouldn't have a purple Jello shot because guess what? They shouldn't be drinking, right? So just little things like that. So needless to say, we can move on to the next part of the Jello shot here. What I did before, I added the white layer to it and I let it cool. That way that we can move this video along a little quicker because obviously in between everything I am letting the shots cool. When I put it in, I was like, oh no, maybe I didn't give it enough time because the top layer rose, but that's just how they settle in if you're doing a layered shot. So we're gonna top it off now with the final part of the layered shot, which is gonna be the blue part. So you can, at this part, you can add liquor if you want. You don't have to. But the shot that I'm going to do, it's going to go to my family, so I'm not going to super overdose them with liquor. So I'm going to add just water in this one, but you can put vodka if you want to this layer as well. Like I did before, warmed up a nice cup of water. So boiling water. Cold water, and you want to slowly mix in your Jello because if you're just dumping it in there, what tends to happen is it will clump up. So I'm gonna slowly mix my gelatin in so it doesn't clump up. All right. Alrighty. And ooh, that beautiful blue. Nice and mixed up there. That's great. Now for this part, same thing. I am just going to basically scoop it with my little tool that I've been using and put it on the top. So let me put that to the side so I can give you an idea of what they look like because they're trayed up and ready to go. I tend to put tops on them if I'm taking them somewhere. They're easy to transport. I like to put them in a bucket of ice to keep them firm so they're not moving all around. So I am going to scoop my blue on top. That layer will fall right to the bottom. I will have a copy of this recipe on my blog if you follow me. If you don't follow me, it's trendinganddesign.com. You can go to my website. I'm also on Instagram. You can subscribe to my videos on YouTube as well. So feel free to like, share, comment, give me some tips if you want, whatever you like. But feel free to reach out to us. And I decided to end this one with a quote from Emily Potter. She says, "Heroes never die. They live on forever in the hearts and minds of those who will follow in their footsteps." So keep that in mind this Memorial Day and enjoy your family, folks. Have a great one.